Hey folks, this is Professor Diffley, History 110, Unit 8. This is lecture video 3, last video for this chapter. Beyond this one, most everything else is covered in the videos, which go into great detail, the required videos and the note sections. And it's pretty straightforward. So reform movements, transcendentalism, education movements to get free education, the Mormons, all these other things that pop up in the era as reactions to the changes. One of the things, though, you get, and something that's still with us, is that we get how the laws begin to change. Transformation of law, the rise of corporations here. You get three major cases in there that really deal with this. You get Dartmouth versus Woodward, defined corporate charter as contracts. So you can't change what the corporate charter is, right? Governments. This is this protection for them. This also stops monopolies, Gibbons versus Ogden, or at least, struck down a monopoly granted by the New York State Legislature for this, trying to increase competition. There, this is going to be a long-running thing. It's what is a monopoly? Trying to stop it. And that found businesses blameless for property damage. And saying more importantly, though, employers had full authority in the workplace. You could convict and go after unions. It's going to be a while before people even have the right to go on strike or form unions. In some places, which you can see in America is, this full authority is actually going to give employers the right to physically punish employees. It's only in 1842 that did mass courts say that there was nothing inherently illegal in striking or unionizing. So this is going to take a long. It's the beginning of the long part of America. People trying to organize against the corporate interest, big employers, things like that. Again, a lot of this dealt with in the notes. One of the things, though, you start to get is this concept of manifest destiny and moving out west and the free individual. This all comes from this guy, John L. Sullivan, who coined the phrase manifest destiny, which meant to many the U.S. had a divinely appointed mission. That it was obvious that it's so obvious that America was meant to occupy all of North America, and that increasingly too the West became a place of freedom. Right, you want to escape the East Coast, the industrialization that you can go and remake yourself out in the West. Go west, young man. You could be free out there. You're going to see again the Mormons and others are going to move out there. Utopian communities. Over time, this is a story, especially in the second half of American history. The West became corporatized, industrialized, that sort of thing. But this is the concept you start to get, and this is going to be, by the end of the 19th century, the U.S. is going to have occupied and taken over most of the continent. As you can see in later units here, it's going to lead to war with Mexico, annexing Texas, taking over large parts of territory that did not, at the time, belong to America. This is a very famous concept of manifest destiny. You can see liberty almost as a goddess moving across the country. Also part of this was the West was untamed and open. It's a frontier, which if you think about it, a frontier means that there's nobody out there. It's unclaimed wild lands. We know that to not be true. They're Native Americans. So why create this message? There were plenty of them out there. Why create this vision, frame it this way? It makes it that, even if the natives were out there, the argument went at the time, is they weren't using the land property industriously, and so America should take it. And, and this even, bringing American culture and that is going to be good for the natives. But again, you see the West as the land of the free. And like I said, you can see more of this, the transcendentalist and all that, religious revivals, all in, New Mormonism, all of this in the videos there. And again, limits to race and opportunity. One thing you do begin to get is, in many ways, even though you have the mill girls moving out into the factories, you start to get the cult of domesticity, the idea that there's separate spheres for men and women. This is not a new idea here, but it becomes more hardened in the modern world here, that women, should be at home, men are out in the workforce, that sort of thing. And again, here you can see the industrious man going off to work while the woman raises home. You do get women as wage earners, but again, it is not looked at as a full-time occupation for them. They should do it a little bit and then move, go back home, that sort of thing, is the concept. You do start to get early labor movements. Again, had something to do with the, this is connected to the laws that we were talking about earlier. Because one of the problems is you do begin to get a great increase between the haves and the have-nots, the rich and the middle classes, and even the lower classes. It begins to expand, and you're going to get working people trying to combine their forces to work and be on an even playing field against corporations, things like that. So you're going to get lots of shoemaker strikes, and this is just the beginning of more labor unrest to come in the future. All right, well, take a look at that. Really take a look at the, as I said, you can see a lot of the notes in here for these topics. And really we'll fill that in, but also, of course, the required videos. Again, so if you have any questions, just let me know, email me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. All right, thank you. Good luck this week.